when you say it's a mistake, is it because you felt the growth wasn't good enough or you actually lost money?
Sort of both. I didn't took into account their ability to generate future cash flow, how they run their business, because I invest mostly in REITs, right? So I don't understand REITs enough.
I see.
I just see that they got shopping malls, good assets, good hotels. Okay lah, just whack lah. Those leases are what 30, 40 years master leases, right?
Yeah.
So shouldn't have any problem, right?
Well.
Until COVID knocks the door.
Hello. Okay.
Like surprise, boy.
Before we begin the podcast, have you gotten your free ebook? It's called the Build a Six-Figure Portfolio Guidebook. Now, inside it, we share with you the tips and tricks to bring your stock investing skills to the next level. The best part, it's only 10 pages long and it's totally free. Whether you're on Spotify or YouTube, the link to download is in the description, or you can go to www.firl.co/FREE or www.firl.co/free. Hello everybody. Welcome back to the FIRL Podcast. Best place for long-term stock investors or just investors, period. Now, today we have a very interesting guest, right? One, he's very young. Two, he's already an investor. And three, he's a fellow YouTuber. Woohoo! I cannot imagine me saying this. If you told me I'll be saying these words 3 years ago, right? I'll be like, what are you talking about?
Will the Marie Antoinette?
Yeah, but yet here we are. Here we are. So we have a fellow YouTuber, and that person's name, and I call him Malaysia's king of account opening. Right? Anything you want to know about opening your brokerage account, he's number one. Whether it's a local or a foreign account.
Yep.
Especially if you want to open a foreign account, right? Yeah, he gets a lot of views about. It's basically tutorials, right? Awesome tutorials. You guys should go check it out. But before we go there, I need to ask you, what is your full name? I actually don't know this.
Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon, guys. My name is Ziet, or you can call me Ziet. My full name is Fong Wei Ziet.
Okay. Awesome. Fong Wei Ziet. Okay, we're going to call you Ziet. I think Ziet rolls off the tongue a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
Sure.
So let's go right into it, right? So my question is, starting off, how did you start off getting into investing? And also maybe talk a little bit about how from age 0 to the time you bought your first stock. What was your relationship with money like?
My relationship with money is very mysterious.
Okay.
I would say that I have zero advantage in terms of financial knowledge.
Okay.
My parents were, the classic worker, working middle class in Malaysia. We have zero finance background. We have no knowledge about investing at all. We don't even know what stocks are. Even until today, my parents are still a fan of fixed deposits and nothing more than that. Maybe a little bit of Toto and 3D lah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, that's interesting, right? It's either zero risk or super high risk.
Both end of the spectrums.
Yeah. Must be like one side one.
Yeah.
Both sides. Yeah, okay, continue. Sorry.
I'm like, I told them, Mom, if you don't spend for like the past 20 years in those Toto and 3D, we could have been living in bungalow or something already, right? But then they raised a very interesting point. It's about the risk and reward. There's something to hope for every day, every 2 days, whatever. There's something to hope for. Whereas with investing, they viewed it as some kind of gambling.
Okay.
And they don't understand it well enough, and they thought, screw it lah, just go with whatever the ancestors have been doing lah.
I see.
Yeah.
So what made you a gambler then?
Right. So my journey with investing, actually, funny enough, I started working at 23 years old.
Okay.
After I graduated as a mechanical engineer.
Okay.
And I started with this local public listed company as an analyst, a commercial analyst.
Okay.
Oh, so you did engineering, but you never ventured into any of the engineering?
Yes, interesting. But the thing is, my company's business activities revolve around engineering as well.
I see.
So that engineering knowledge helps me.
Okay.
But I don't use it on a daily basis.
I see.
So I sort of put engineering on the sideline, but I still need it.
I see.
So I open myself to learn new finance knowledge.
I see.
From how to read annual reports, how to extract market data, how to read financial statements, how to read, all those stuffs, and financial modeling eventually. So that sort of escalated me into the finance world. I got fascinated.
I see.
So because of your job, because of the requirements of your job.
Yes.
And this was how long ago since you...
23, so about 2.5 years ago.
Okay,
3
okay.
years, yeah.
Did you regret doing engineering after this world opened up to you?
Regret is a huge word to use.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Engineering gives me the stability to find a job.
Okay.
So I'm thankful for that. I've always been thinking about this. Should I even started with engineering since everyone is like doing business, finance, investments, fund management? Should I just went for finance degree or whatever lah? And then I thought to myself, in Malaysia, our choices are not much.
Understand.
Especially if you are from the M40 or M40 background like me, you don't get
Not
much
T20
choice.
lah.
Yeah, not of course not.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't get much opportunity in terms of scholarships, in terms of all this waiver.
I see.
What I have is PTPTN.
Understand.
Yeah, so I sort of got lucky. Maybe 50% luck and 50% hard work.
Yeah.
I'm a okay student.
Okay.
So I scored a full scholarship with my current company.
I see.
Yeah, that is why I got a full degree to full sponsorship for my degree.
Understand. Understand. What do your parents do actually?
My father is a primary school teacher.
Is he still working?
Officially, he has retired.
Okay.
But he's been called back to to fill
serve
in
the
the
school?
slots.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I see.
because there are lack of teachers, and my mom is
Right.
just a general clerk for a local public company as well.
I see.
But no longer working lah.
So in a way, were you first exposed to the finance world because of your job? In a way, you didn't have a role model in a family or a relative that you could, anchor as a model. Was that the case for you?
Yes, exactly. Zero.
I see.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so let's go into a bit more about investing right now, right? So you're a commercial analyst, still a commercial analyst, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's amazing. So you've been a commercial analyst at the same job for 2.5 years.
Correct.
That's very rare.
That's my
for
first
people
job
our
as well.
age. For people our age, right?
Yeah.
2.5
Yeah.
years. What are you, dinosaur? So I want to ask you about how you look at investing. What's your investing philosophy? How has it evolved, basically, if there has been any evolution?
I will be honest, I have no idea what is investing when I first started with my stocks. So I also started with my job. With my job, we look at projects. So we look at the return, the rate of return, everything. So we analyze projects and data, market data, economic data. That is where I sort of pick up something called discounted cash flows.
Right.
You look at what you can gain in the future, then you
Yep.
pull it back to today.
Yes.
So you sort of see what's the net present value. So that got me thinking. Money is a very complex, very complex subject.
Okay.
That is, it's not just your salary every day you earn. That's all.
That's
But
right.
there's so much more to money. Business, return, the way you look at money, the way you value money. So just because you spend 1,000 ringgit on the camera equipment today doesn't mean it's bad. It could be, returning you in terms of value. So that is where I started to pick up finance stuffs. And then just like every Joe in Malaysia, I wanted to earn more.
I see.
Of course.
Of course, I want to grow my wealth. I want to earn more money, all the mullah. So I looked up. I have no idea what to do. I think I stumbled across Peter's Mr. Money TV's
Alright.
video.
I
So he was
see.
talking about investing and stuff. So sort of picked me up, and I personally like YouTube and Western content in general.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I sort of venture into the YouTube space, look at Graham Stephan, Andre Jake, all these
Yeah,
big
yeah.
YouTubers.
Yeah.
So they was talking about investing. And then my relationship with investing, I have no idea what is a stock.
I see. At that point, when you saw these guys, Graham Stephan and Andrea Jig, right? You still were not clear of your relationship in investing. Is that correct?
Exactly. He was just teaching us how to view at money. How do you save your money by not going to Starbucks, by making your own coffee?
Right.
All these personal, more to personal
Personal finance.
finance, not so much in investing yet.
Yeah.
Then he started to talk about stocks, and I sort of touched base on different channels, and I still have no clear idea of what is stocks,
I
because
see.
what I know about stocks is red and green color bars
Red
in
bar, green
the
bar.
market, and then I sort of know Apple and Google lah. Then nothing else. I have no idea what is that. So I went and searched in Bursa Malaysia. Sort of search what are stocks in Malaysia. So I stumbled across Bursa Malaysia. So that is how I started my relationship with stocks. So I researched more.
Okay.
Then I went to a local investment bank to open my first account.
Okay. When was that?
That was like 2019, July 2019.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah, 2
about
years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that itself, that first account was a wrong account.
How come?
I have no idea. First of all, I have no idea what is a direct CDS, what is a normal CDS.
Oh, so you opened a NOMS account lah.
I opened a direct CDS.
I see.
But I think that account is more to cater for those large capital traders.
Ooh.
So they
the
have
fees.
yes, the fees. It's a wrong account.
I see. I see.
Instead of the normal 10 ringgit per trade,
Understand.
I pay
Value
like
trade accounts. Yeah.
28 ringgit per trade.
The one you're paying is 8 ringgit per trade. Is the one you
Currently, 10 ringgit,
yeah.
So that was the wrong account. I have no idea as well.
I see.
Until like 3 months later, I was in Muni Discovery, a mama with my friends. So we were talking about my Maybank stock. Yeah, so cool, bro. So how's your stocks doing? So they were asking how much you pay per trade. 28 ringgit or 0.42%. They were like,
Oh my
Bro.
god.
That one you can buy
wrong
2
account.
meals. You want a Muni to makan, right?
Yeah.
You're saying?
You can
Yeah.
buy
So you
two
get
meals.
2 meals. Two very
Exactly,
big. And you know
per trade.
the portion very big one in Muni.
Exactly.
Right?
that was when I realized that, oh shit, I effed up.
Okay.
Bro, I
Yeah.
have to check with my broker. Then he was saying, with this IB, you are paying 28 ringgit. Nothing wrong. You still trade like every other person. I still can use the trade app. So no problem. So I asked my friend to confirm with his broker. He was confirmed. Yeah, bro, we are paying 0.1%.
Yeah.
All of my friends are paying 0.1%.
You're the only guy who.
I'm the only guy that pays 0.4% per trade. So I went on and checked my broker. He said, actually, you have to go to the commercial bank, not the investment bank, to get that rate. So that was like, that was the first mistake.
No wonder. No. Okay. So this story, now I see a connection. Why his content is
Now
focused-
he's the king, man.
yeah, that's why he's the king of stockbroking account
That is-
opening. But
That's
bro,
one of the best stories I've ever heard.
yeah. Hey, but bro, don't worry. I made the same mistake as him because
that?
I opened the my first.
Wait, you never
trading-
start YouTube channel after that?
Oh man, I was so. I should have started a YouTube channel how to build platforms. Actually, I went through the same thing for 3 years. So you are not bad already. Mine was 3 years CIMB, and it was because it was my friend, Remiser. Yeah. So okay, and from there on, right, Ziet, maybe did you face when you had a friends to talk about it in the mamang and everything, but did your family members or anyone closer to you, did they share the same enthusiasm you had? And if they didn't, or if they did, maybe you can share some stories with us about that. Did you tell your parents that, oh, I'm putting X amount of money into the stock market, and then did they like?
Yeah, what's the
eyes-
reaction?
What was the reaction?
To answer the first part of the question, 0.
Oh.
None of my friends, none of my relatives, none of my family members have anything to do with stocks or investing.
Okay. And
So that was the background.
okay.
So it was me and Bursa Malaysia.
Okay.
Okay.
So the first time my parents found out that I was investing in stocks, I didn't tell them yet because it's hard to tell your parents who have no
Okay.
investing
That's right.
background
Yeah.
that you are investing your money, your hard-earned money into
Yeah.
stocks,
Okay.
which you can't see.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the first time they found out was when my Bursa statement sent to my home.
Oh, then your mom opened the statement.
I asked them to open like it's okay lah because it's like what confidential.
Oh,
private
yeah, and then,
confidential.
yeah.
You don't know what is that. It's like, Mom, just open lah.
Ah.
So when she's open, like, wow, what you spend 4,000 ringgit on this stock? That was when I sort of have to explain to them what are those.
Okay.
And even then they were pretty supportive in the start.
Oh,
Then down the road, once I got my statement up to like 7, 8, 10,000 ringgit,
Okay.
they were like, stop, that's enough. That's
Aiyo.
enough money that you have spent in the
that's
stock market.
there's a cap.
See,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
word they use is spending. Isn't that
spending.
interesting?
Expense.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, sorry, continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, to them, they still think that it's gambling. Even until today, my mom is still very against me investing.
Do you get them to open the dividend checks or not?
Yeah, they do. They do receive like maybe a few hundred ringgits, but it's nothing to scream of lah.
And whenever they get that, they don't like say, hey, there's money coming in. They don't have that kind of reaction.
No, but in their mind, it's 10,000 ringgit spent, but you're getting 300 ringgit every few months. So the return is not. I mean, you can't blame them lah.
Understand.
So it's like to them spending 10, 20 ringgit on Toto and 3D, it's nothing. It's a hope you probably rake like 300k, 1 million in the same night.
The win ratio is 1 to 1 million, ma. So.
Yeah, but the lose ratio also.
obviously. Okay, then you said your friends also did not have that kind of enthusiasm, but you said earlier your friends talked about you had mamak sessions and all that. Maybe out of a sampling of 10 friends that you have, right? How many actually talk about stocks?
Sure, I need to be clear. That was my colleague when I started working. My colleague talked about stocks.
But most of your high school friends, uni friends, almost zilch.
Zero.
Why do you think that's the case, Ziet? Why do you think that's the case?
To be honest, I have no idea.
Okay.
I think it's probably the reach of finance content or the awareness of investing is not there yet.
Okay.
We are surrounded by Toto, 3D,
What you're trying to say is that we don't have enough subscribers. That's what
Yeah. Low-key hinting.
Hint.
Yeah. Sorry for cutting off. Continue.
Yeah, we are surrounded by banks,
Yeah.
fixed deposits, unit trusts, mutual funds,
insurance
Insurance,
agents, selling
investment
linked plans.
Oh, man.
My
Have
anger
you-
just builds when I think about that.
Okay, yeah. Please share with us your
Please
anger.
share. Yeah.
Okay,
What's your experience with
I'll be
insurance?
bold, but I think this will trigger a lot of institutions.
Oh, no,
Nice.
don't
Hey,
worry.
insurance agent,
The
yeah.
insurance agent, yeah, I really like.
Anytime I think about, I heard about unit trusts, mutual funds, or insurance investment plans, I'm like, please earn money the right way. Stop going to them wasting your money. You're not going to get. You are most probably gonna lose your money more by doing that.
Right.
Go to the stock market. If you have no idea what stocks are, go to robo advisors. If you have no idea at all, start learning first. Not asking a manager to, you pay them 3-5%, then you ask them to grow your wealth. That is not the way.
I see.
Yeah.
So in a way, if I were to, maybe I want to throw a spanner into the box. If you did not land this job where you had to do IRR calculations day in, day out, right? Would you have gained the confidence to be able to dabble in the stock market?
No. That is the thing.
Okay.
That got me thinking every day.
No, this is the thing I want to nail on the coffin, because I mean, I feel that it is always opportunistic for people to get into stocks, but I want to hear from your point of view, what needs to change? How else can you give the opportunity that you had? Obviously not to bring them on as a colleague, but how do you think we as a community can change that?
More subscribers, more viewers. Yeah, jokes aside lah.
Yeah.
I think it's more to the awareness of money, and it's pretty hard for me to say. It's like it's like a solution to build the next generation of investors. That's like not an easy solution. You need year-long, a few decades of things to change the entire Malaysian landscape.
Okay.
I think the local banks and institutions plays a big role, including our education as well. So I don't blame them, but for me, I got this education when I'm working. So if I'm not working in this current company, I probably have no idea what financial statements are.
Yeah.
To be honest.
If you worked for probably a pure engineering consultant firm, right? I doubt you would have,
And you won't be on this podcast.
Yeah.
Exactly. I will probably still throttling the knobs, changing the spanner, whatever.
or figuring out thermodynamic calculations for HVAC sizing,
Yeah,
so.
CFD simulation and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I don't understand it. I'm the only non-engineer at the table, so okay. Sorry to interrupt this podcast. I know it's a little bit annoying, but I want to tell you something that I think can be really helpful to you. I can tell you're really interested in the stock market and want to learn more about it so that you actually know what you're doing, especially when today things are getting more complex and complicated. That's why we came up with the Stock Investing Blueprint, or SIB. It's our signature e-learning program that teaches you how to pick the right stocks most of the time, buy and sell it at the best possible time, and manage your stock portfolio systematically. It currently has more than 10 hours of content, and it's growing. You'll also be part of a group of like-minded investors that can help speed up your learning process. To hop on the program, click on the link in the description or go to learn.firl.co /courses/SIB. So, hey, let's talk about your investment philosophy today.
Yeah.
Obviously, two years, it's not long, but it's not short also, right? It's still significant, right? You would have experienced many up
Changes.
markets and down markets. So right now, it's a bit of a volatile down market. So how will you describe your investment philosophy? Like right now, let's say I throw you a stock. What are the questions you will ask? Do you have a checklist for that, for example?
I don't have a detailed, concrete checklist, but like what you guys do. But I do have I look at it from financial perspective first.
Right.
First of all, if I don't know what company is this, I don't know their industry, their background, I'll just look at financials first. That is like the first sign of how the company is doing.
Sure.
I mean, that ties back to my day job, right? I look
Yep.
at a lot of companies
Numbers,
that I have
yep.
no idea who they are, because we have to evaluate a lot of companies in my day job.
I see.
So we that sort of help me to evaluate the company, any company, based on financials first. So you
Okay.
look at what they are actually doing and how profitable they are, how they run their business model, what's their revenue, how they run their entire business lah.
So what metrics do you look at when it comes to
So-
finance before we move on to the
Yeah.
other parts of the checklist?
Before metrics in
Do-
the
do you-
financial
do you have
statements, I look at revenue first, then revenue, operating profits, EBITDA, EBIT. Then I sort of hated net profits in the P&L.
We hit it also. So.
Same,
Because I think it's really a non-cash item. Is that the right way to say it? It's sort of
affected by a lot of
distorted.
non-cash
It's
items.
distorted.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
distorted.
It's
Because of
distorted by
accrual
DA.
accounting.
Yeah, exactly. So that is also something that I learned in my day job.
Right.
That net profit doesn't necessarily reflect how good the company is doing. I personally prefer EBITDA more.
Okay.
So I remember there's one guy that really hates that EBITDA as well. I don't know, is it Warren Buffett?
Charlie Munger.
Charlie Munger hated
They call
EBITDA
it
as
bullshit
well.
earnings.
Charlie is very frank. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that is also a pretty good, first check. Then I like cash flow statement and balance sheet as well.
Okay.
Balance sheet, I like to look at cash. So if they are burning cash, then you must tie back to cash flow statements. How they are spending their money. Is it on huge debts? Are there any new capital or any new asset acquisitions?
Sure.
And how are they managing their debt in terms of D ratio, all those ratios? Then what are their short-term obligations, whether they can meet for the next 2 years at least.
2 years, okay.
Yeah. So your quick ratio should be around 1.3 to 1.5. That is sort of a safety net to me lah. If you want to go close to like 1 or less than 1, that's like
I think
the alarm already.
is it fair for me to say those ratios that you mentioned are more relevant to, in a way, construction companies? That's why you look at it more that way, or do you think
Project-based kind of
project-based kind of
Infra-based.
infrastructure.
Because
That-
when
that
he
is how I
mentioned that,
started,
yeah,
Correct,
that
correct,
was,
correct.
yeah, because I think for different business models, they may not be so tied to,
Yeah.
Correct.
yeah,
Sure.
For
Okay.
startups, it's different.
Absolutely. So that's more quantitative. So now in terms of the qualitative, do you also have your own checklist? Do you also, what do you look at when it comes to the non-financial part of analyzing a company?
Right. So this ties me back to how I look at industry. How it's a sort of love and hate relationship. How you look at it. I started with Malaysia investing first,
Right.
investing in Bursa first. Then I sort of went to US market.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I see that the economic growth in the long run is more promising,
Okay.
and there are less, political risk
Okay.
involved,
Okay.
as opposed to local sin.
okay,
We'll leave it
Right.
there.
So from the top down, I have the economy, which is the
Okay.
country,
Alright.
and I
Okay.
look at the industry.
okay,
So I will avoid 2 industries. One is the oil and gas,
okay,
Okay.
and the second one is anything that has to do with gaming or something that has to do with taxes. I don't really like to deal with any companies that has gaming companies like
Genting,
yes, correct. They have to deal with a lot of this kind of surprise
Regulation,
taxes.
regulatory
So
lah.
those are the things that I can't control. Or at least I
Syntax
can't
lah.
see.
So things like Carlsberg and all that, you also avoid lah, because of
Something like that lah. Yeah.
BAT. Okay,
Correct, correct.
Okay,
So those are like my first line of screening. So second, I look at the potential of the industry.
okay,
Okay.
So if the potential of the industry still is a need for the consumers or is still relevant, then I will go for it. So
I
for
see.
me, I am pretty I would say well versed in technology.
okay.
So because I've been a gamer since young, so I've been into YouTube very young.
I see.
So I've got exposure to technology stuff since a very young age in terms of gaming stuffs, what are the technology. I watch National Geography as my Netflix.
Wow.
So I love all those stuff. So technology, planes, engineering, that is how I got into engineering as well, because I love this documentary called Air Crash Investigation.
Oh man!
Oh my god, you guys are okay.
So
I'm gonna leave the podcast now. You guys just talk about airplanes. Bye bye.
No, because that MJ knows me so well. And MJ used to know that I fly a lot, and my favorite is actually Air Crash Investigation. My wife thought I was nuts because it's like I'm flying in an airplane every week, and I'm here. Okay, stop there.
Okay, we have another podcast, the airplane podcast. Right? Okay, so now here's an interesting question for you. So you had almost 3 years now for investing, right? What is your best and worst investment so far that you've made?
Yeah.
Oh, my worst investment are all in Bursa.
Oh really? Why was that? What did you learn from it?
That's because I started with Bursa,
Okay.
so I have literally no idea what to do. So I
Okay.
look for go to YouTube and go and learn what is dividend investing, what is growth
boy.
investing. So they were
Okay.
saying growth investing very high risk, high volatility. So you should try to avoid if you have no idea what you're doing.
Aiyo.
If you don't have the risk appetite, then maybe start with dividend investing.
Okay.
So that's how a lot of people approach. They want to try test water. So
Yeah.
I was the guy, put 3,000 ringgit, don't look at it. So where is the best place to put? Dividend investing. Because it's safer You won't the share price won't drop so much in such a short time. So so I see that you can compound your interest, then you can grow your capital as well. So this is the best place, safe haven. So I go for dividend investing.
It's like FD squat like that.
Yeah, I was about to say that. It's like a FD on steroid. You take 10-20% capital risk of the loss of capital of 10 to 20%, but in return your compounding interest
What?
so sexy, bro.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, that's actually what you read. That's actually what you read when you
The
studied.
misconception, yes, that's how I
Oh my
felt.
goodness.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because a lot of dividend stocks, the way they preach them, I say preach, because
Not dividend stock. You mean the dividend people who were preaching dividend investing? You mean?
sort of
Yeah.
they were saying that dividend stocks or dividend paying companies, they are blue chip companies. They are
no.
well established. They have
Oh, man.
expected future cash flow. So that is why they can pay so much dividends, because they have no more need to expand their
Reinvest,
business, to reinvest the business into the business. So they can pay you every quarter, non-fail, that 6 to 7% dividend yield. And that's my first mistake as well, looking at dividend yield.
I see.
So,
Yes.
so when you say it's a mistake, is it because you felt the growth wasn't good enough, or you actually lost money?
Sort of both. I didn't took into account their ability to generate future cash flow, how they run their business, because I invest mostly in REITs, right? So I don't understand REITs enough.
I see.
I just see that they got shopping malls, good assets, good hotels. Okay
see.
just whack lah.
Ah.
Those leases are what 30, 40 years,
40 years, yes.
master leases, right?
Yeah.
So shouldn't have any problem, right?
Well.
Until COVID knocks the door.
Hello. Okay.
Like surprise, boy. so that was the first time I experienced paper loss.
I see.
So even before COVID, like 5-6 months before COVID, so I started investing in July 2019, right?
Okay.
So around the end of 2019, it was during the US-China trade war.
That's right.
Okay.
That's the thing that started to drop everything by 5-10% like within a week or two.
Okay.
So I started sort of like, okay, no problem, dollar cost average.
Correct.
Just buy it
Average
down.
down.
Yeah, you average down. Buy the dips, they say.
Yeah.
Will rise back on,
Yeah.
no problem. So everything was like okay. Then US China Trump like playing ding dong with the Chinese.
Yeah.
So and then March hit. Then
Okay.
COVID came.
Lagi.
The REITs lost in a day or in a week lost like 40%.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So my REITs all got blown out of the water.
Portfolio hammered all the way down.
Hammer. I think at the peak it was like 8,000 ringgit.
Wow.
Because that time I was like 1.5 years into employment.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I didn't have a very
that's-
huge portfolio.
That's a lot of money for 1.5
Yeah.
year employment. Actually, kudos to you,
That
man.
is
Yeah.
that is a paper loss. It's not even the entire
Portfolio.
So you can see that portfolio got blown already.
Yeah, and I bet when you were researching REITs, right, they said that it's for retirement, right?
Exactly. You compound for 35 years.
Mm.
You just do the math rule of 72, whatever was that lah.
Yeah, understand.
Damn.
Then what was your realization when you saw that? I mean, what was if you could describe your emotional being when you went through that, when you saw your portfolio and you saw that, wow, it was like being hammered so much. But was it something that you could take? Was it that volatility was something that was easy for you to take in?
I would be lying if I say I can take it. But I did not panic sell lah.
Okay.
I never
Good.
sold any stocks
Great.
until like September of 2020.
Did it rise back up to the original value? that you
Not all lah, but most of them did rise back. But
Okay.
some are still down like 25%.
Okay.
Which I cut loss like a few weeks ago.
I see.
So
Oh.
I'm like, screw it, I'm losing so much opportunity in the US already. So just shift the market.
Capital over to US.
I will talk about that later because, maybe I describe it. Why I look at it. First of all, I lose opportunity cost.
Yes.
Second of all, I see that it's like you are investing in companies like sorry to use Air Asia. So they have so much debt. They take on so much new debts during the COVID.
Yep.
So for them to recover back to my breaking point, it would take like what 3 to 5 years, bro. I mean, like no lah. Even their yield up to that point is like 5 years. You can't even get back. The return is not as sexy lah.
Yeah.
So I thought, why not just cut loss at 20-30%, move on to growth stock. So
Sure.
that was my thinking.
I see.
Okay, best investment. Let's stop talking about sad things.
Some euphoria
I wouldn't want to call it best investment
Just
just because.
so far.
so far.
Because
So
you're
far,
probably still holding some of these stocks.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Paper gain.
Not paper loss anymore.
Paper gain.
I would be proud to be saying this like 1 week ago, but the US market got hammered this week.
Don't worry. I mean,
It's okay, man.
at that point, let's rewind the clock.
Better than hotels.
Okay, I doubled my return. I doubled
Okay.
my gains with Tesla.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah. So I started investing in Tesla in September 2019.
2019?
2020. Sorry.
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
So that was my first time with US market.
That's the
I
first
went-
stock- first
no,
US
no,
stock.
Sorry, first one was Apple.
I see.
Okay, okay. We'll
Yeah,
talk about it later.
I even made an entire video filming me
Huh?
buy my first Apple share.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. I show the audience what was the emotional, the process, because people thought like, investing must be looking at green and red screen, those numbers flying, then you're
Yeah.
like, wow, like a trader like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just a buy button, bro.
Yeah.
You drop your
Click.
4,000 ringgit, that's all.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Go sleep.
Yeah. You buy it with an Apple phone also. Right?
No, I bought it on
PC.
Maybank's global trading platform, so it's a PC.
Oh, you bought it through a Malaysian.
Yes,
I
that
see.
was something I can talk about for hours.
Damn, okay. So before we go Apple, right? So
Yeah.
now I want to ask you. So you mentioned Tesla. So
Tesla, yeah.
I think here's where I think people will be very interested. So I mean, as investors ourselves, we haven't really looked at Tesla, right? We know
Yeah.
it's all the rage. We look at Tesla go up. We are like, oh man, look at that. But we're also quite happy because we also bought gloves.
Yeah.
So we don't feel so bad when we see Tesla. But no, anyway,
Jokes
that's
aside.
irrelevant, right?
Yeah.
So let's say if someone is coming into the market right now, obviously you're not there to tell them what stocks to buy and whatnot. But if you can give a case for Tesla, what would it be, right? Because I know there's the thing I realized with the Tesla community, right, is either people love it or hate it. It's like durian. Right, Tesla is the durian of the US stock market.
It's
right?
an acquired taste.
Yeah. So what would be as a durian or Tesla lover, right, or rather as a shareholder, right, of Tesla, what would you say is the case for Tesla?
It's like asking me to convince newcomers.
Give us an elevator pitch. Don't need to give us. I mean,
Okay, before
Yeah.
I move into why Tesla,
Yeah.
I would say that the stocks that with no brainer I will recommend is Apple, not Tesla.
okay,
We will talk about
But
Apple
Apple?
later.
Yeah.
but Tesla
Let's talk
first.
about Tesla.
Okay. So why Tesla, right?
Yeah.
So it's a company that has a lot of potential in various industries, not
Okay.
just automotive segment.
Okay.
Okay.
So they are making EV, electric vehicle, which is
Yep.
I think it's a disruptor to the internal combustion engine
Okay.
industry.
Okay.
So oil and gas, everyone is moving towards ESG, renewables and stuff. So they can exploit on that. So
Okay.
on top of that, Joe Biden is pro clean energy.
Okay.
So that is one huge thing. Secondary thing, full self-driving, autonomous driving.
Okay.
No
Right.
one in the industry, no one in US or China comes close to their technology in terms of autonomous driving.
Okay.
Then at the same time, they have Tesla energy as well.
Mm.
So that itself, I'm working in the power industry. I know how huge this industry is.
Mm.
So that is the reason why these are the three main factors.
So wait, by Tesla Energy, you're talking about the battery segment, is that right?
Correct. They are battery
Right.
energy storage.
Okay, so I think we are I think people are more familiar with the electric vehicles and even I would say autonomous driving. And we can circle back later on this, but I want to get your thoughts on the battery segment. Like, why do you
Yeah.
think that's big coming from the industry?
Traditionally, they have been using lithium-ion batteries. I forgot what was the exact word. Basically, they have a tap battery, so the efficiencies are not as good as what Tesla is pitching. They are pitching a new battery technology called the 4680 tabless battery. So what that can do can bring about 20% extra more efficiency
Okay.
in terms of range, in terms of charging speed, as
Okay.
opposed to the new battery. So
Right.
no one in this industry is going close to that technology.
I see.
Yeah, the only one that has come close was a firm by, forgotten what was the name.
Chinese, American.
It's an American startup. What was the name? I can't think of it on
No.
top of my head right
No,
now.
I
don't
can
worry.
Google keywords if to find out for you. I can Google some keywords.
Tesla battery competitor.
It was backed by Bill Gates.
Battery. Battery company. Bill
Backed by
Gates.
Bill Gates.
Okay, it's not BYD, right? Is it
No,
BYD?
BYD is a Chinese battery
QuantumScape,
manufacturer.
is it?
QuantumScape.
Yes, QuantumScape,
Okay,
correct.
okay,
So
okay.
QuantumScape, so for QuantumScape, they have come out, they pitch lah. They will be able to blow past what Tesla can do.
Okay.
Okay.
But in 2030, 8
So it's-
years, 10 years
Aiyo.
down the road.
Oh,
So
man.
you are promising something. I like promises, but I don't like fake dreams.
Mm.
That's the thing.
Right.
Like Elon Musk delivers promises. Elon Musk promises things, but he delivers it.
Yes.
So
Right.
that is the main difference between a lot of pitch. A lot of pitch by a lot of CEOs, like for example Neo, this
Yeah.
kind of company, compared to companies like Tesla. So
Yeah.
that is one thing.
Yeah.
So sorry, where were we? QuantumScape, right?
Yes.
So that is why I don't buy in so much to that concept. Although it could be true, it could be revolutionary.
Understand.
But there's like what 8 to 10 years down the road, Tesla could be like the king of everything already.
That's
by
right.
then.
Yeah, they would have leaped past whatever QuantumScape is building today, lah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just curious, right? What would how do I put it, right? What would stop someone else with as much money as, because I think one of the key interesting part about Tesla is the fact that Elon Musk can actually raise money quite easily. Because if you look at the financials, they are burning money. I know people like to say they've been recently profitable, but I have looked at the financials before. The reason they've been profitable is because of carbon tax trading.
That's right.
Which is
Offsets, huh?
basically the European, or I think it was a
Tax
European,
credits,
yeah. So they basically give all these credits to Tesla, whoever, and so if Tesla they're not using it, they can actually sell it to other companies to make a profit on. So anyway, enough that technicalities. But I just want to get your thoughts on the battery itself, right? Right now, they are the leaders, but what is stopping someone with money who has as good in terms of raising capital or generating capital itself from building something similar? What do you think as an insider in the industry, right? What hurdles would someone have to go through in order to have, don't even talk about same level as Tesla, but 90% of Tesla's battery or 80%?
Okay. If I were to put this in layman terms, right? Which other company builds a reusable rocket system?
No one.
Elon Musk Foundation,
Yeah.
SpaceX.
Okay.
So in terms of technology track record, that guy proves it already. He's proven it. So the other companies, like LG Chem, Panasonic, they are not bad. BYD, they are not bad. They are huge. They are huge battery players, but
Sure.
they don't have anything revolutionary.
Understand.
Yeah.
And Tesla can build a EV manufacturing plant from scratch. Whereas the other companies, I don't think they have gained even come close in terms of traction. Like BYD has been in the EV industry, in
Much
the battery,
longer.
much longer,
Yeah.
much larger than Tesla. But nothing new, nothing revolutionary, nothing to scream about.
Understand.
So that is one thing, one reason why I think Tesla is ahead of those competition.
Sure.
Yeah.
So now let's
And you were
shift
asking about battery technology?
battery technology.
Battery technology. So there are different kinds of battery technology. So
Yeah.
lithium ion being the most commercially used. So
right.
there are like what redox flow, different zinc cathode ion, whatever lah.
Mm.
So a lot of those technology are still very young. So
Mm.
with lithium ion and the lead alkali being one of the oldest pioneering battery technology. But all the EV companies are using lithium ion right now.
Mm.
So
Alright.
the
That's
leader of lithium ion is
Interesting.
also Tesla. So
So do you foresee, right, going forward that they will dominate the battery space more than the EV space, or you have no views on it?
I would say that they will do both. They can
Okay.
do both. So that is also the what part of my thesis why I choose Tesla. If I were to not like their battery segment, I would go with BYD or someone
Yeah.
with more track record in batteries, right? Or like Panasonic, LG Chem or whatever.
Right.
But the reason why is I think Tesla is much nimbler, much nimble and much faster, much agile. In term, they move like a startup. So the way they come with new technology, the way they cut costs in their vehicle is very fast. They like cut like $5,000 every 6 months or something.
I see.
That is a lot of cutting.
There is a lot.
And their profit margin is about what 25% for their electric,
For a car manufacturer.
Correct. So
interesting.
that is something that blows my mind. Even until today, they are like one of the cheapest EV. They sell one of the cheapest EV cars with their Model 3 pricing around what $36,000 US dollars.
Yeah.
Whereas the next cheapest one was around, I don't know, in terms of premium lah, it's not even close to 36.
I think the Porsche Taycan was the
80, 100, I think.
Yeah.
It was like what double, triple.
Yeah.
And they are also one more thing is Tesla is coming out with a 25,000
model.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you do that, that will like blow everything out of water straight away.
I think
Right.
right now is the price point that puts a damper to a lot of people buying because it's considered a luxury car segment. I mean, if you go to the US and where car hire purchase is so widely available, 35,000 is quite a lot to pay actually.
Yeah. At the same price, you can probably get like what Nissan Leaf, Hyundai.
Yeah.
Not really like given the same price, you will go with Tesla lah. The guy that does EV focus, the guy that does autonomous driving, the guy that does a software upgrade for the car itself. Why would you go with someone else with does don't have all those bells and whistles?
Understand.
You would go for something cooler, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to turn this into a Tesla podcast, but I do have one last question. Unless John, you have
No.
a question. So I only have one more question, which is, what do you think of? I think one of the I'm just trying to take the other side, right? Because for me, I don't care, right?
Yeah.
To me, Tesla is becoming like a religion. Like people either support it or they want to throw stones at it, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to take the stone throwing side for a while, right? And say, okay, one of the questions, one of the queries, right? Because the bigger debate now is what's going to replace internal combustion, and there are a few candidates, right? Hydrogen fuel cell, electric vehicle, yada yada. So in terms of electric vehicles, one of the big challenges would be the charging stations, right? Where if you are part of a country like maybe the US where and China, where they are willing to like pour a lot of money into building electric stations, that's fine. But let's say for a politically, let's just use the word complicated area like India or even maybe Europe, right? How do you, because it's going to be a some of a barrier if you don't build enough electric stations, it won't be very economically conducive, right? Even in the US also, you got 50 over states with each of their own laws and it gets complicated.
Yeah.
So what do you say to that, like to that challenge? Because it is a challenge.
Of course it's a challenge that have to be solved lah. Even until today, I think EV is like what 4% of the entire automotive segment. So that is also a huge space that Tesla is also in. They have their own supercharger network.
Okay.
Whereas I think the peers, the competitors, is not even close in terms of charging network. So they don't even have their own charging network as huge as Tesla. And in this space, there are actually different a lot of players in the charging space as well,
I
like
see.
EV Go, all these players. A bit, all are also pretty young startups lah.
I see.
So this is also a huge challenge that, to be honest, I can't comment much yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's something to be tackled, and
Yep.
definitely the ICE and the oil industry is still dominating like
Of
a
course.
king in this industry. It's a huge obstacle because like in Malaysia, you can rarely find electrical charging station. Even
Yeah.
in mall, maybe just one parking slot of
Right
like-
now, I think KLCC is increasing quite a bit. KLCC has
in the hotspot only lah.
Yeah, I think Golden Triangle. I just saw an ad on Facebook. KLCC, they have 8, but the reason why it wasn't an ad. It was a post by a guy who were condemning the hybrid guys because he said this is for pure EV cars. So he was a purist. He said that.
So the hybrid fellas go.
Go. He said he said go.
Malaysian style, man.
He just said you don't deserve to park here. Go somewhere
Yeah,
else.
it
you know,
reminds
this
me
way.
of the story. Sometimes I mean, also we do is, when we see women's parking, I was like, okay, hey, mom, can you get out?
Yeah.
I always wanted to try that with my girlfriend, but
Hey, I tried before.
Huh?
Then suddenly one lady just walked past me and said, "Do you know this is a woman's parking?" I said, "Look, yeah, I know." They just stared at me and she walks past. Okay.
and sorry, just to
It's
add
my
on
fault.
that,
Yeah.
even the charging station is a problem.
Mm.
That's also partly in parallel. We have to look at the prices of electric vehicles. So if there's no one using electric vehicles, those charging station players won't come in.
Not what
Yeah.
effect because
the economies of scale,
Yeah.
you need both sides to
Okay.
play at the same time simultaneously.
Makes sense. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay, now we talk about Apple. Right. This company got cash flow. This company got profit, right? So I was actually checking your Instagram account, right? I don't know whether it's still the same today, but this is based on
Roughly.
January the 10th, right? So Tesla is about a third of your portfolio. And your
More than
next
half now.
biggest one, more than half, okay. Because you add or because others
went up.
went down a lot or
Both ways.
both ways. Okay, great. So then the next one is about a quarter is about Apple. So I know it sounds like a silly question, but why Apple?
I think I can answer that. I use almost all of their products. I know them well. I think their financials is easily the best one. So no brainer. Don't need to look at financial statements anymore.
Yeah.
In terms of growth, gains, everything, still a winner.
Yeah.
Still top in the industry. But mainly because I understand their products.
okay.
Right.
I know where the company is heading
Okay.
as compared to Android. I see the consumer patterns they are moving towards. They are sort of trying to move into iOS
Okay.
as opposed to iOS moving to Android.
Understand.
And I see that the competitors don't have the enough in terms of quality, pricing, everything. They can't really catch up with what Apple is offering.
I see.
So tie back to my experience with Apple. I use iPad, iPhone, Apple Watch,
Yeah.
MacBook. What else?
I really have to thank
Everything
You
is
eat the
Apple.
apple, so you eat apple, so right? Just checking.
So every product that I've bought blows my mind.
I see.
If I can put that into context
I
in
see.
terms of consumer perspective.
I see.
And I'll be honest with you, 2019 I filmed this video and told I told my friend I'm Huawei for life because in 2019 the prices of Huawei that was before the trade war bans everything.
I see.
2018 and 2019 I was very pro Huawei
I
because
see.
at 2,000 ringgit you get such a good value phone, such a nice
High
camera,
spec, everything, yeah.
Yeah.
the best Snapdragon Kirin processor, whatever they call it lah.
Yeah.
But then after 1 year, things sort of like, these things restart by itself. Sometimes
Then finally the made in China words came a bit bigger.
yeah. That's what hit me.
Well,
though.
actually, sorry, Apple also made in China. So sorry,
No,
I
no,
take that
no.
back.
Design and made in China. Whereas Apple
Okay, I
is
take that back.
designed in the US, made in China.
I take that.
That sort of thing, because before using this Huawei phone, I was using Xiaomi. Also another, I would say that bang for buck
Understand.
kind of phone,
Understand.
1,000 ringgit, you get such a huge, so much user features as opposed to
Right.
4,000 ringgit
Yeah.
iPhone.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I can buy for 4 years.
Yeah.
You're still using the same old iPhone already.
Correct.
So that's the with this Huawei phone. So that sort of kicked me in the face. That is when I look at money sort of differently already. You can't just spend. Yes, you are paying 50% lesser, but if the product won't last, it doesn't matter. It's like 2,000 ringgit for 1 year or 4,000 ringgit for 5 years.
Pay for premium.
Yeah.
Value. I would say premium.
So
Pay for value.
Do you call it shelf life? The use life is much more longer. So you
Understand.
actually pay lesser.
Understand.
That is where you extract more value of the money you paid.
Understand.
And that's how I look at
Interesting.
Buffet
Yeah.
and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Warren Buffett is a huge shareholder. Is the largest. In fact, I think he's
Yeah.
the largest.
Single largest shareholder.
Yeah, I think Apple most make up like 200 billion. I don't know if you know. It's very
Yeah, it's I
close.
think 11% of his portfolio. You go and check.
No, it's bigger now already.
It's bigger,
Bigger now already. So, well, I check that out. So I want to ask you right now. So okay. So let's take a step back and just a Tesla example. I'm going to take the other side, right? Now, people are drawing parallels Apple to potentially Nokia. We all know what happened to Nokia. It was a market leader. Probably had a lot of cash as well, right? So Apple's cash reserve has stood at about 200 billion US dollars as of last year, probably a bit higher today. So my question is this, right? They seem to be spending that money not on investing into new stuff, new technologies, whatever you call it. They're using money to buy back. It's not essentially a bad thing, but this causes some concern for some investors to say that actually Apple is at a stage where it has run its course, right? Either it pays dividends or it just buys back shares. It's not investing in new stuff. Right? It's not going to new things, which might follow the path of Nokia. And just yesterday on WhatsApp, I saw this video now that people are having that ring thing where it's AR now, augmented reality. So they are able to, like, let's say the screen, there's like a Twitter, there's a Twitter page. They can actually scan it and then they can put it out into
Hologram.
oxygen, a hologram, and then they can start tweeting and then
Whoa,
right?
wow.
So it's actually available already. I'll find the video, I'll pass it to you later, right? But you guys, those of you listening, you can actually go and find out.
Yeah.
So I'm just throwing out some of these examples of potential disruption, right? Because what I find interesting about your portfolio is that Tesla is a company that is disrupting, and Apple is a company that might be disrupted. So what do you say to that potential?
Interestingly enough, I didn't elaborate this part. This is actually part of my portfolio strategy.
Mm.
Apple is not. I didn't invest Apple for the hypergrowth. I invest it as the backbone for my portfolio. So in case Tesla, goes down or whatever,
Elon Musk goes to jail or whatever.
Whatever lah. So, but even with Elon Musk going to jail or have COVID, Tesla have not shown any weakness in the share price. Back to Apple. So Apple was actually my strategy to be the anchor or the backbone of my portfolio, even though it does not grow as much. It doesn't drop as much. So even with the past 2 weeks, it has changed like 5%. So that is like the way to like sort of the insurance for my portfolio. At least something is still working. And then in terms of disruption, I don't think anyone is even close to disrupting Apple yet. I think their ecosystem is still super strong, and no secondary players is even close. Like you are talking about what Oppo, Xiaomi, Google. I don't think it's even close.
I don't think they also want to go into that model because like Google when they built Android, it wasn't meant to be an internal OS for themselves. But that's interesting. He sees Apple as a defensive stock. If I were to simplify it.
Yeah, and I also think that Apple, no one's as focused as Apple. I find they're not as like they're very focused on, like, even if they have multiple products, you can kind of see it's for the same type of person. But let's say Google, right, the phone business or the OS business is another part. They got their ads business, they got all this other business. Even Huawei literally got telecommunications.
Everything.
The phone is like
Actually, the phone business for Huawei is very small. The network switches and all that is much bigger business. A lot of people don't understand that actually.
So you would say right that no one's coming close to disrupting Apple as of now.
Yeah, that's the reason why it can be my backbone.
I understand.
Yeah, and there are still room for growth in terms of that is more speculative already lah. In terms of their future VR, AR,
right.
and their SaaS with their iOS App Store as well.
Yeah.
And actually, interestingly enough, their SaaS store is actually their SaaS revenue is growing. Their SaaS segment is growing.
The App Store, right?
Their products are softwares. And then speculatively, Apple Car. I mean, the upsides are there. I don't see much downsides.
Understand.
So the risk to reward is better.
So how about the cash that they have? Do you like what they're doing with the cash, or do you think you can do anything better?
Actually, I checked it like last month. Their cash is actually reducing as opposed to previous quarters.
Okay.
So actually that sort of worries me a little bit, but not so much lah, because they are still so huge. So
That's right.
in terms of direction, I think it's still there with them going into the ARM chips, the ARM microchips, the M1
architecture,
the M1 ARM architecture. I think there's still room for growth. In terms of downsides, I don't focus it as much lah. Yeah.
All right.
Understand.
Just to update you guys, Apple is now 1/4 of Buffett's portfolio.
Oof, 25%. It's
Big.
huge
Amount. I actually think that the reason he went into it is because of the discipline he saw in Tim Cook. That he had so much cash and he did nothing. Yeah. And then after that, now he's buying back shares. I think Apple, since Buffett bought it, have already reduced the number of shares that they've had by, I think, 5%, something like that.
Wow.
Which means, right, by doing nothing, you get an addition, like your shareholding has grown.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, that's,
Like
I
Top
think
Glove,
that's, sorry?
Like Top Glove, sorry.
Yeah, I know it lah.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, that's a different podcast.
It's a different emotional, it will invoke a different emotional sense, I can guarantee you.
Yeah. Okay, so now, before we move on to the next section, I think there's one stock here that's quite interesting that you did bring up, that you have in your portfolio. It's not as big, but it's your third biggest, I think. I don't know whether it's still your third biggest, but basically it's Square. Cash App, right? I listen to a lot of podcasts in the West, and they always start with a Cash App advertisement. I didn't even know that they were part of Square. My only understanding of Square is that they are intending to become... Two reasons why of the three, I'm most excited about Square that you mentioned, because one, they are very focused on merchants, right? They're focused
small
on
businesses.
Yeah. So for those who do not, how would you describe Square actually to someone who has never heard Square before?
Wow, a bit hard to describe.
The name's so simple, right?
Yeah.
But
Maybe you draw some parallels to Malaysia. No, Malaysia is too small. The players are too small. Not
the way
wide
I
enough.
would describe it is like
Something like PayPal, but with with a hardware.
Yeah, so think of it as PayPal or Touch and Go, let's say.
Yeah.
But their merchants is their hardware is linked to the merchant. So they know that they track the expenses and the income of the merchant straight away, which then can be translated data for lending services.
Correct.
Actually,
Right?
that's quite similar to...
It's like a digital bank already.
Yeah.
And financial that's
Yeah.
the other
Yes.
guy right?
Yeah.
Correct.
And they are and so that's the one reason why I find it interesting. Secondly is because they also have a crypto trading firm, right?
With Cash App. They can do it under their Cash App.
That's crazy,
Yes.
right? Especially with the Bitcoin stuff. So anyway, that's my knowledge. So why is it to you? Why Square? Why is it in your portfolio?
Okay, I would say that this is more speculative in my portfolio, but I will always see Square as the potential disruptor for the financial services. So what we know in today's incumbent banks, they are pretty slow and pretty rigid in terms of providing loans and
Very
stuff.
nice word, lah.
But they are not nimble. That's the thing. So more stringent in terms of giving loans. You need a lot of financial data.
That's right.
Your credit history as well, the scoring as well. So a lot of they can't serve those underserved and unserved populations. That is one thing. And then second thing is, I think this is where digital bank shines. They are faster. They are more with the fintech startups mentality. So they can capture more data by integrating with a lot of merchants. They have more use cases as opposed to banks, where banks usually just rely on central banks' credit history data. So I think I'm right.
No, I mean, you have your opinion. So
Yeah, that's what I think. So
Yeah.
so that is where they sort of lose us out, whereas the young fintech are more agile in this case. So what we see this SME and MSMEs, this is where Square is good and fast at capturing that market share.
microfinancing lah.
So that is a very untapped market. So
Right.
that is one huge chunk already. And recently, Square just acquired Tidal app by Jay-Z.
Yes.
and
Yes.
Beyonce. So that is sort of like the Spotify for artists.
Yeah.
Something like a Spotify, like it's a music streaming platform. So I think it can move towards like a YouTube platform as well. So they can like convert this into a YouTube /Spotify kind of app, and then they can monetize,
subscription
bring
basis.
in new ecosystem. So imagine Square integrates this into electric vehicle software service. They can accept bitcoins, cryptos, and in payments. What if Square integrates this digital finance service in various industries?
I see.
That's where they can disrupt so many industries.
I
But
see.
it's more speculative lah. It's
Understand.
harder to say lah.
So why is it harder to say in your view? Why is it more speculative?
Because finance industry, it's more regulated. It's not as easy to disrupt as other industry because
So-
you are dealing with fiat and regulators. So it's a bit hard on that sense. Even their cryptos take like ages to even get regulated and stuff.
That's right.
So crypto itself is also a very, very new space to them.
Yeah.
And they are like one of the early movers in cryptos as well. So I think that is also part of my strategy of exposure towards a crypto lah. Instead of buying Bitcoin directly, I invest into a company that looks good into Bitcoin.
Now you also have exposure to crypto through Apple. I always say Buffett buys crypto. You all don't know any.
Yeah.
He buy it through Apple.
But very small lah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think enough about stocks. We talked, I think, almost half an hour about stocks, right? So let's move on to the later segments of this podcast, which is, so as we said at the beginning, you do YouTube, right? So it's one thing to know about money, learn about money. Why do you decide to publish yourself or to expose yourself, for lack of a better word, on YouTube about money, about investments and all that?
Okay. So my initial idea was I could have just used a so-called image or whatever brand to cover me and I won't show my face or whatever to go on public. Because that's like a very huge psychological hurdle for anyone to even start a YouTube channel, to speak to so many people, to show your face, then people will judge you, criticize you.
That's right.
Yeah, that is one of the largest psychological hurdle that I went through. And it actually wasn't my plan to even start a YouTube channel. I just want to maybe do some Twitch streaming, playing games.
Because he's a gamer, ma.
Yeah, I was
right.
a gamer, no longer a gamer.
Yeah.
Thanks to my girlfriend.
What games do you play? So what games do you play before your girlfriend?
Dota.
Oh, wow.
I
Got two
have
Dota players here,
like
man.
11,000 hours in my Dota.
What was your rank before you quit?
5.2k.
Oh shit, okay. I was
Yeah.
only 4.3. Okay. I think Gay was 4.7. So
But that was a long time ago lah.
so at that level you have almost been pro lah, right?
Close to,
Close to
but
pro,
but not commission pro lah, the salaried pro lah.
Pro will be like 6.
I went
6 and above, right?
I went to national competition before.
Okay.
Oh.
But it was like what, top 64, then I got kicked out already. Because my first opponent in the group stage was actually the winner of the tournament.
Wow.
Oh.
It was
So
with
just
the,
Who, any famous players in the group? No. Yes, no.
you mean in my team?
No, the group that you guys are.
Yeah, it was one of the best Meeple player in Malaysia.
Was it?
What was the guy already? I can't recall, but he actually played for the Chinese team called VG.
Oh, VG Gaming.
Yes, the support of VG Gaming. I think it was like X something his name. I can't recall.
X Nova.
Yes, X Nova.
Oh, X Nova is in PSG right now.
Sorry, PSG. It's PSG.
PSG beat you guys out.
PSG.
Okay,
Yeah, the one with the Paris Saint-Germain one, right?
yeah, correct.
PSG, yeah,
X Nova
correct.
is big. Okay, John's getting
Yeah.
lost. Okay, let's not talk
So
about that.
we got
So-
destroyed by pro players.
Okay, great.
Yeah, sorry.
Another podcast. Okay, so yeah, back to YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So you wanted to be a Twitch streamer,
Whatever, something like
probably in Dota, right? So anyway, so then what got you to the courage to start with?
So I sort of trying to find a niche because every tutorial sort of say that find your niche,
That's
find
right.
your audience. Then what's my niche? I don't have skills. I don't know anything. I only know how to play games. Maybe I know a little bit of financial statements. Good, but not very good. So
Right.
can I teach people about financial statements? Maybe not. People will criticize me. I have no idea about what finance is. So I went through that process very hard for like few months.
Okay.
Even before MCO.
Okay.
So I would say that the one that kickstarted me was this YouTube channel. I watched this video by Ali Abdal, one of the
Sounds very
big
familiar.
one of the big YouTube channel in terms of productivity. Something
Oh,
like
okay.
Gary V, but not so Gary V lah.
Okay.
Something yeah, if you can
Afi
just search
Abdal.
Ali Abdal, AliAbdal.
DA. Oh, this guy. Yeah, this guy's video is
Yes.
very good.
Very
right?
good,
I think he had this very popular video of how to pass the exam or how to do
He
a
was
uni
a
or something.
junior
Cambridge, right?
doctor in Cambridge.
Yeah,
correct?
they tell you how to be doctor in Cambridge.
Something like that. That was his old contents, but
Yeah,
his
yeah,
newer
yeah.
content is more to productivity.
Yeah.
So one of these videos, he was sharing his YouTube earnings.
Oh.
So he was saying passive income. So one of his passive income was Skillshare. Was sharing about
Skillshares,
Yeah,
okay.
he was raking about 11 to 15,000 pounds without
Solid.
doing anything.
Wow.
£1,000
Nice.
I see.
without doing anything. So then he moved on to share how he got through this process, how he started YouTube, everything, blah 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 blah. In the end, he said this. I still can echo in my mind.
Yeah.
If you want to grow your wealth, you want to get more money, you have to provide value. If you want to provide value, you go and teach something to someone else.
Yes.
If you don't have any skills or anything to teach or provide value, go learn something.
Yeah.
Internet is there.
Yeah.
So that is the pop.
That was your pop moment.
That was my pop moment.
Okay.
So 2 months later, I started my YouTube channel
Very
because
good.
of that
Nice.
particular video.
So now if I go to your YouTube channel, right, the top ranking videos are all the how to open broker X or app walkthrough, things like that, right? So was that something that you planned or something that you stumbled on?
So that was something down the road that I realized. Yeah, I can talk about that later.
Yeah.
So the initial part of my videos on my channel, you can realize that I'm actually sharing what I've learned from my day job. Finance contents, financial statements,
That's
how
right.
to read annual reports, why I started investing, all these kind of
Mimicking your journey lah. Where you
yes,
were,
correct.
yeah.
I'm just documenting from start what a noob would actually
Right,
experience through, right?
Yeah.
So that's my top 3 mistakes.
Yeah.
Buying dividend stocks based on dividend yield.
Oi.
I think that's pretty interesting. A lot
Yes.
of people went through that.
Yeah.
So and then down the road, I stumbled. I use this. I learned something from Elon Musk thinking, which is the first principle of thinking.
Oh, solid.
You reverse engineer a complex problem down to its core,
Yeah.
back to the original basics.
Yeah.
So my thought process was like this. Of course, you want more revenue for ads, so you need more viewers.
Yes.
So to need more viewers, you need more interesting contents. So to get more interesting contents, to get more viewers, you need content that can serve your niche.
Yes.
And you are unique.
Yeah.
And then no one can replicate you.
Correct.
So I sort of back engineer what can I do in the form of finance channel, because I was doing what are my top 5 mistakes, like why I started investing, like who would care to watch this young guy investing, right? So who would even bother to watch this Ziet with 100 subscribers, how to invest?
Right.
So that got me thinking, instead of me doing a finance channel investing channel that is based on stock analysis, what are the best stock tips, so no one would listen to me. So I back engineer, and I realized the reason why a lot of people didn't invest or didn't start investing because they don't know how.
Don't know how to start lah.
Don't know how to start. The process of starting.
Yeah, you can talk about the best stocks, the best growth stocks out there, but
That's
if you don't
right.
have a brokerage account,
Yeah.
you don't know how to open a brokerage account, you wouldn't be able to start investing. So that was
Solid.
how I back engineer my problem.
Engineer.
And
Systems.
Engineer.
So I didn't start straight away with Bursa because it was something. I can share with my knowledge. I did started with Bursa, then went with the wrong account and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But that didn't got much traction because I didn't purposely SEO into that content.
I see.
Right.
Search engine optimization into that content.
Right.
So I realized that, and then down the road, my interest was US market. I realized I got more interest in terms of US products. I consume more of their products. I'm on YouTube like almost every hour possible when I'm free at home, consuming Western content.
Understand.
that's right.
Instead of local contents, I have no interest on local news. That's what I found. So I sort of switched the mindset into US market. Then I asked around my friends, my colleagues. I believe I never heard of anyone talking about US market as well. Everyone was talking about Bursa, all those bank stocks in Malaysia and
Especially if you're in a dividend investing group. Everything will be
It's always like
REITs
20
or
stocks
banks.
they're talking
yeah.
about.
Same
Syntax,
Maybank, TMB,
TMB,
It's the same group.
It's the same stocks. Then sort of kicked me. You own Apple, you use Microsoft, use Google.
Correct.
But why no one talk about US market?
Correct. No one talks about Amazon, man.
No one talks about Amazon. It was
And 50% of what we do on the cloud is Amazon based. So
yes, AWS and Amazon is like what the king of US and Europe. And,
exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that got me thinking. So I started to find out ways to invest in US market, and can tell you it's a pain. I don't even know where to start. And then that got me thinking, if I went through the same issue, surely
Everyone
a lot of
else
people
will
went through
go
the
through,
same
yeah.
thing. Okay, maybe a few are smarter because they got friends or people to teach them, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But that's like what 1% of the entire percentile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other
Yeah.
99% is like me. So I went through with the local banks. So I started because my local bank, okay, just say Maybank lah. You can trade US stocks.
$28, I think.
25
Oh,
US
okay.
dollars.
$3
per trade.
cheaper.
That was like $25. It was so expensive, but okay lah, no choice ma. No
Yeah.
other choice. That's
Yeah.
the only choice we have in Malaysia. Like we don't know about all those foreign brokers because you don't have physical branches in Malaysia.
Correct.
So scary. You are
Yeah.
putting like what
That's right.
30,000 or whatever
Yeah.
into online.
Yes.
That's why your money is gone.
Yeah.
If anything screws up, you got no branches to go and complain and stuff. And I went with it for a few months. Then I'm like, I cannot take it anymore.
The cost is too high, right?
Because the US, YouTubers from the United States are always talking about fractional shares and dollar cost average.
Correct.
Oh,
How you want
painful,
to
yeah lah.
how you want to dollar cost
That's
average
your income 50K
per
a month
trade?
lah.
Yes, you want to dollar cost per trade is $100 US, 25 US
100
dollars,
ringgit.
100
ringgit,
ringgit.
yeah,
I'm like,
it's
wow,
crazy.
cannot dollar cost average. Like, if you want to buy every 5%, you will be bleeding more in brokerage fee with a small capital that I have.
Actually, I don't know if you know this, right? Do you know why it's so high?
Because of the fees, the layers of fees that banks go through.
Yes. Yeah, but part of the fees I found out also only last year only is because they convert. So let's say you have to buy US dollar, right?
Yeah.
Then you realize when you sell the US stock, you cannot. It has to be back in ringgit.
Correct.
Okay, some brokers, just maybe to update
okay.
your info. I used to have a CMB foreign broking account.
Yeah.
You can buy, and then when you sell, you have to convert immediately on the
Yeah.
day you say, okay? But now they allow you up to a certain threshold, you can keep that in foreign denomination. So that means you buy US stocks at, let's say you buy $50,000 worth of it, and you sell it, you can keep that in US dollar denomination.
So the threshold would be time-based or quantity-based?
I think it was time-based, and then it was nothing exceeding 6 months or something. But they still want you to trade.
Okay, that's not so bad.
It's not so bad. It's not so bad. But
Improvement?
yeah,
You can
improvement
keep
lah.
your US dollar in their omnibus account lah.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, right?
After that, when I found out the fees of, I use E-Trade, I said 28 versus 6, no brainer lah.
Oh, it was 6 right now.
I'm still paying 6. I haven't, because I hardly trade lah.
Go and
so-
watch his video on IBRK. Then maybe you.
Yeah.
No, I've been wanting to. I'm going to talk to him after this episode, but I've been procrastinating on opening an IBRK. I have already had the money and everything ready to move. It's just that, oh man, going through KYC again. I'm like, I rather open crypto accounts now.
And yeah, sorry, just backtrack into that. So the thought process was so expensive. I have to go.
That's right.
I was also very skeptical of a lot of free trading brokerage.
It's not free.
Can,
It's not
can I
free.
can I name them?
Yeah.
Like, when you have 100 subscribers, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So like
if people flag, we'll take this
so
video
there's
down.
like there's like huge names or so called very marketable names like eToro.
Oh, yeah.
So, Tiger. So they have a lot of ads. So people thought
That's right.
they're like one of the best accounts out there.
Yes.
So I'm not like one of them. So before I even started, so I tried eToro, a paper trading account.
That's
So it was okay, not bad. The user interface was alright. But I sort of read online Laureate forums that there's a lot of fishy things going on. When you want to find it, they have a like what do you call those banks? A very fishy bank accounts one. So it's like what Lee Barber syndrome, but you're funding something like that. You're not funding eToro Malaysia. So your bank account can't track. If one day RGN knock your door, what you got like what 20K from Lee Barber syndrome? Apa ni? Yeah. So
Siapa Lee ni?
because they are not licensed in Malaysia. They are not
True.
regulated in Malaysia. So that is one thing. And actually, a lot of foreign brokers are not. Actually, none of the foreign brokers
Yes,
are regulated in Malaysia or licensed by SC. So that is one thing that we have to keep in mind lah. So it was until one day. So I was using Maybank trading.
Okay.
Until one day, this new colleague came to my
Department.
to my sort of my department lah, sort of like an advisor like that.
Okay.
So I was talking to him about stocks because he's sort of talking about trading and stuff.
I see.
So So I finally got people talk about US trading, US market trading. None of my other colleagues talk about US market.
Okay.
So I talked to him.
Okay.
So he said, I use interactive brokers. I pay like what 30 cents every
30
day.
cents US dollars or ringgit?
30 cents US
US
dollar.
Wow, that's still...
But
Per
it's still
trade-
cheap.
cheap, man.
Still cheap.
Yes. And as opposed to me paying $25, bro. I was like, what? 30 cents? And he
That's 100 times. That's nearly 100 times
Yeah.
cheaper.
no
man.
lah.
Yeah, 100
100
times.
times, bro.
It's 100, right?
Time,
Yeah, 100
10 times is $3,
yeah,
ma.
sorry.
100 times.
It's crazy.
Yes, exactly. So he was like trading 50, 60 trades per night. So he's a trader. He's a day and swing trader lah.
I see.
So he was telling me, interactive brokers executes well
Mm.
in terms of execution, very well.
Yeah.
Speed, funding, everything, no problem. So why not try it? So from a person that is so skeptical about online foreign brokerage, I gave it a go.
Mm.
And ever since I got hooked. So
Right.
Is there a minimum? I haven't watched the entirety of your video, but is there a minimum that you have to maintain in interactive brokers because you have to pay something like a $10 fee or something?
So
So,
there's a trading that you need to trade.
No, it's a
That's
minimum
So there
threshold
is-
amount.
So there is this thing called inactivity fee.
Right.
So there are two tranches. If your total asset in your account, stocks plus cash, is less than $2,000,
Uh-huh.
you have to pay $20 per month.
Okay.
If your asset is more than $2,000, you pay $10 a month.
When did you not pay for inactive?
Okay, so two conditions to negate the fee, right?
Okay.
Either you have $100,000
US.
in your account,
Okay.
cash plus stocks,
Okay.
in total value, or you trade that amount. So let's say you have to pay $10 a month, right?
Ah.
So if you trade 10 times, is 35 cents times 10 times with $3.50.
You have to trade close to
28 times.
28 times, yes.
I did the math.
Go watch his video, John.
Yeah.
So I was telling people, you have to pay $10 a month. Sounds a lot, right?
Yeah, but
because not
actually-
everyone trades that much.
Yeah.
So you can trade 28 times, then you don't have to pay lah.
Mm.
So which is why this thing appeals so much for traders,
Mm.
as opposed to buy and hold buy one time investors lah.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
so much lah.
Yeah.
That's why I recommend them the other one, TradeStation Glow. Maybe later.
Yeah.
So interactive brokers, if you traded let's say $4
Yeah.
that month, you pay $6.
I see.
Okay.
So in net, what you are paying is $10.
Mm.
That is a
Wow.
Okay
This is like
monthly
a
service
entire sign. You know, in the future, in 2060, when they say, let's finally, in the school curriculum, let's create a finance subject.
Actually,
they
there's-
look on YouTube, right? No, YouTube through their AR glasses, right? Who's this Ziet guy? 2 million subscribers. The one subject called how to open
A brokerage account.
Okay, I must give credit. The reason why this subject got traction on my channel is because the US market, literally no one talking about brokerage account, because most of their accounts can trade for free.
Yeah.
They can trade fractional shares. They have no
They have
friction at all in terms of
Weibo,
fund.
Robinhood,
Yes.
all
Think,
that, right?
think of
So
Swim, so many.
Charles Schwab, Fidelity,
Fidelity,
Vanguard, whatever lah.
Fidelity,
Whereas
Ameritrade.
non-US market, so much issue with commission, with regulatory,
Yes.
with funding, foreign
Prices
exchange.
are very
Yeah.
little.
Oh
I
my
feel
God, so much trouble.
Yeah.
That is the reason why
Okay.
I got traction,
Great.
because people are searching for it
Understand.
outside of US.
Understand.
Okay,
Yeah.
so before we put it to an end, it's almost actually an hour and a half. I can't believe it flew by so fast.
An hour and a half already. Wow.
No, once we finish everything, probably touching them.
Yeah.
So now let's say I'm totally new, right? And I can watch all your videos and all that. But let's say in 5 minutes or less, right? What if I'm totally new, what are the things I need to look for before I choose a broker that's right for me?
Yeah.
If I can put it into few sentences lah, don't believe what you see online. Just because they have more ads doesn't mean they are better.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
Because
All right.
a lot of new fintech startups, they look for influencers or KOL or YouTubers like me to promote.
yeah.
Affiliate
Okay?
marketing.
Hopefully I don't trigger the others YouTubers.
Oh no, we have
Yeah.
a podcast. We have a podcast designed for this.
We mentioned his name actually in that podcast.
Yeah. We
We
actually
did-
asked people to watch. It's not out yet, lah. We
It's not
mentioned
out
you
yet.
and Suyin, because we know we analyze across the Malaysian market, right? Yeah. We realize, apart from ourselves, but we don't talk too much about ourselves. But from most Malaysian market, right? Yours and Suyin's have the least affiliates. So, and also the only affiliate, from my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, the big one is Stashaway. Right? Do you have a StashAway affiliate?
That is my only affiliate.
That's your but you see, right? I when I watch your video, I can trust you and Suyin as well. You know why? Because you use it, then you go through an app, then
Exactly.
you actually click update. Especially Suyin, right?
Yes.
Suyin updates StashAway like every quarter or something like that.
Yeah.
So I
Correct,
believe you
correct.
because you're promoting a product you use. Whereas
Yes,
a lot
exactly.
of other YouTubers, right? They just put a link there,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, anyway, that's
the philosophy of my channel as well.
Yeah.
I can't. If you want to recommend people something, you put affiliate links. It sort of kills the vibes already. You lose the credibility.
For us, MJ and I, we only will own. Our rule is very clear. We will only if we do affiliate marketing, is products that we use ourselves.
Yes, correct.
If we don't use that product, sorry.
yeah, share investor.
Share investor, we don't get nothing from them, but we
Please.
promote it like crazy.
Please. So the first tip, right, is for total newbie. The first tip is don't care whether it's or ads or not. Not important.
Correct, and don't fall for the marketing campaigns.
How to check? Okay, let's just say they trust you. They hear, okay, don't follow the ads. How are they? What's the next step for them? Would you recommend them for them to check?
Look around, read what are the user experiences,
Okay.
forums, YouTube channels.
Okay.
You know,
Ziet Invest.
articles.
Subscribe to Ziet
articles.
Invest.
Don't just trust one particular blog
Yeah.
post that promotes Tiger Brokers. Then you go with Tiger Brokers. I think a lot of people done the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without pointing anyone. And that was a thing that got me. How do I say? Don't just trust on one article. Look at the
Right.
forums. I think forums is the best place. People share their user experience almost every other day.
And
Yeah.
very honest. Right?
Very honest because it's what they go through. If
Yes.
they don't like it, they will just
Would you say
complain
Lao
about
Yat
it.
is a great place in Malaysia?
Yes.
It's good.
I would say Lao Yat is like the best forums in Malaysia.
What about
Oh,
Reddit?
really,
Do you think you read it?
Reddit is more
I don't-
American.
I don't
lah,
read
yes.
it much, to
Okay.
be honest.
Yeah.
Right, but Lao Yat needs to upgrade its
Interface.
look and feel. It's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
It's stuck
a bit
in the
outdated.
90s, man.
It's the same thing. It's the same interface like 15 years ago.
No,
Exactly.
when I first got into reading blogs about investing, I was already on Lao Yat and i3. Actually, these two only these
They
two.
have not upgraded.
There's
Typical
nothing
Malaysian,
changed.
Terrible.
Typical Malaysian.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So don't just read one article. Don't fall for their marketing and all that. And then
Look at the user experience. Sorry,
User
the point number 2.
experience.
Look
Okay.
at the user
Forums.
experience. How's their customer service?
Right.
How's the funding experience? Because sometimes just because you can fund doesn't mean your fund gets in like 30 minutes.
sorry, for funding, you mean like the money transfer and all that?
Okay, maybe that
is.
is point number 3.
Okay,
In terms
okay.
of funding, that is a huge issue for Malaysians to fund any foreign brokerage account.
I
Okay,
see.
okay.
Meaning
So-
depositing lah. You're saying.
Correct. Yeah.
And withdrawing
put
lah.
money into
Okay.
Yeah, both ways lah. Both
Okay.
also got a lot of problems. And so if you want to, let's say, buy US stocks, you need US dollars.
Yep.
So you need to change your ringgit into US dollars.
Yes.
But there's a lot of ways to go through that. It's either you can do it with local banks or you can do it via third-party fintechs lah.
Yeah.
So with local banks, you are subjected to foreign telegraphic transfers, bad foreign currency exchange rate.
Yes.
So that is
Of
one thing you
course.
kena makan by the local banks already.
Yeah.
So the other way that I always recommend people is to transfer to Singapore dollar through something like a TransferWise.
Yeah.
TransferWise, Instagram, Sunway Money, Big Pay, whatever lah.
Yeah.
So those fintech companies, they can offer you phenomenal FX rates.
I see.
So you can go to Singapore banks like CIMB Singapore.
Okay.
Then you do local transfer to those foreign brokerage accounts,
Wow.
Singapore bank. That is free. Then within their apps, you convert to US dollars.
I understand.
So the point number 3 is in terms of funding, not every foreign brokerage account will give you the similar funding experience.
Understand.
Some, just because you can fund it doesn't mean your money will be there immediately. Some will take up to 3 days, 5
Wow.
days
Yeah.
due to some regulatory money laundering
Amla lah.
Yeah.
investigation and stuff. Your fund is stuck there for like one or 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yes.
Painful.
And that is one. And second thing, if a lot of people, not say a lot of people, some people they are very careless, so they put wrong names or whatever.
Yeah.
So their funding details salah liao.
Yeah.
Then their fund got stuck. Could take like up to 1 month to get back their
Yeah.
funds.
Yeah.
So that is the issue with a foreign brokerage account.
I see.
You need to take into account funding. That
Yeah.
is the most important thing in terms of funding.
Especially
Wow.
transfer lah.
It's a very good point. I never thought. But I mean, because I'm also invested in crypto, I think experience is quite similar. The only thing is that there's more QR codes involved lah.
Yeah.
And then like brokerage accounts like TD Ameritrade, they don't accept fundings from any other Singapore banks. They
Except-
only accept DBS and POSB bank.
So Stand Chart tak boleh lah. OCBC semua.
Cannot.
Wow.
That's why you need to do foreign telegraphic transfer, which is cost a bomb.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
I used to fund
Same goes to
Yeah.
Webull,
Robinhood.
E-Trade as well, right?
Robinhood.
Robinhood is US only.
Oh, it's just only okay.
Yeah. Webull, I mean, they are great platforms. Webull is also outside of US, but
Right.
you can't fund it the way that I just described. You need to do
Aiyo.
it like foreign telegraphic transfer.
Wow.
So
Wow.
new
Yeah,
video lah.
TDM,
Right. Weibo video coming. Okay. So just last one. How about fees? What do you look for in terms of red flags, potential red flags when it comes to fees?
So in terms of fees, if they are free, you need to ask. Like Robinhood is free, doesn't mean they execute well. Like eToro is free, doesn't mean they execute well. Same
Yeah.
goes to a lot of other like TD Ameritrade as well. So what it means, like you could be eaten by a small portion by the brokerage house because before they even pass you the stock. So let's say you buy Tesla at set a limit price at $650, then they give you the share price at $648, so that is $2 lesser than what's your limit price, right? But actually they got the stock for $646.
Yeah.
So they eat a small portion
The
of
spread. The spread.
because they execute either poorly or they purposely set something like that in their algorithm
Yeah.
to eat the spread before they pass you.
Yes.
So theoretically, you thought you are placing a zero fee trade, but
Wow.
actually the brokerage house given you something more expensive that you doesn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know.
So in a way,
Yeah.
it's be careful of free lunches. Maybe it's even cheaper to pay brokerage fee lah. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So it has been a pleasure
Yeah.
for you to be on this podcast. I've learned so much, especially the part about brokers and your thoughts about Tesla, Apple, and Square and all that. I didn't look forward to ending this podcast, but time is real. So hope to have you back again. Before we end, do you have any plugs? Do you have any shout outs?
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Your channel.
You can find me on YouTube and Instagram as well at Ziet Invest. It's ZIETINVESTS, Ziet Invest. So I run a YouTube channel and Instagram. You can also DM me on Instagram if you have any questions regarding brokerage accounts, foreign brokerage accounts in particular. I receive 20, 30 people message me every day.
Wow.
Just asking about all these banks accounts and brokerage accounts, which I think is a segment that we need to address lah.
Sure.
Supposed to be the bank and brokerages doing this,
Yes.
but end up some YouTuber has to do it lah. Right?
At some point, some people thought I'm part of the IBKR's employee or something.
Yeah. You should give a shout out to IBKR to give you some commissions, for doing all this for them.
They don't serve Asian influencers well.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh.
thing.
Yeah.
And lastly, I would like to thank FIRLs for today's session. It's been an honor. It's 8 months since me starting this channel.
Yeah.
I've went to Mr. Money TV's
Yeah.
channel, now on FIRL's channel. So it's an honor, to be
Yeah.
honest. Thank
All right.
you very
Honor
much.
for us as well, man.
Yeah,
you
honor
very
for
All
us.
right, guys, that's it for this podcast. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.